absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes. Do you think that worked?
I think that works, Dave Thomas, and everyone, welcome to Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence. I am one of your co-hosts, Bella Verita, and I did not get to say in the green room that I do struggle with the disability of dyslexia, and I'm the one that's going to be introducing each one of you. So in the event that I mispronounce your name, like Simone, I might mispronounce the rest of your name, please feel free to correct me, make sure that we have it correctly. But welcome all to the Heart of Influence, where we play a game of influence, because Plato said, play a game with me for an hour and we will learn more about each other than if we spoke for a year. So we're here playing a little game, getting to know one another. Like, it's like Dave, if he said, hey, John, hey, Simone, do you want to come to Starbucks and let's meet for the first time? It's kind of like that, except for you get to have way more fun and play a little game. So how does that sound, Dave?
That's awesome. That's what we're all here for.
That's what we're here for. So first up, from Portland, a passionate advocate for financial empowerment and strategic growth, nearly 20 years guiding diverse businesses towards measurable success, empowering entrepreneurs, especially women, fostering financial literacy and authentic leadership for overcoming limiting beliefs, delivering practical tools for strategies that promote clarity, growth, and peace of mind in workshops and keynotes. Let's welcome to the show, Simone. And I'm going to use the pronounce her last name.
Semaluka Radzins.
Simone, what was it?
Semaluka Radzins.
Semaluka Radzins. Welcome to the Heart of Influence. And Simone, we always kick this off with a fun fact. And this could be like something that you're proud of, something cool that you've done, just something that would make us go, Simone, no way. Headline fun fact. Simone, what would be your fun fact?
My fun fact is that I've lived in and worked in over 30 countries in the entire world, and I just love it. Yes, and I've been able to do it before digital nomads, and it brings so much joy to my life, and it's truly personal growth.
And lived and worked in 30 countries. And out of those 30 countries, Simone, what would be your favorite? If you could get on a plane and go work in one place tomorrow, where would it be?
Well, right now I'm in Portugal, so I'm already kind of doing it. But the one Costa Rica. It's where it was my first, like when I was 17, I decided I had this opportunity, like go to MIT to learn like chemistry or go learn Spanish in Costa Rica. And it was kind of the trajectory of travel. And there's a special just spot in my heart in Costa Rica. So I think I'd go back to Costa Rica.
Going to Costa Rica, Simone. Well, we're not quite in Costa Rica today, but maybe we'll head there a little bit later. But Simone, are you ready to have some fun?
Yes, super, super ready.
All right, let's do it. From Merrick, New York, a physician assistant and 15 years in healthcare operations, now guiding entrepreneurs through the mindset challenges and beliefs. Co-founder and COO of a business coaching firm helping clients scale from solopreneurship to multi-million-dollar success. Actively incorporates AI into his coaching streamlined process and enabling greater factors of client transformation. Let's welcome to the show, Tom Marino. Hello, Tom. Welcome to the Heart of Influence. And what's your fun fact, Tom?
So I am a huge baseball fan. I mean, it may not be a fun fact, but it's my fun fact. When I'm not running my businesses, when I'm not coaching people, I'm talking baseball, living baseball, and especially doing it to watch my son as he grows into baseball.
That is amazing, Tom. And if Sean were here right now, and I will remember to tell him when he gets here, you could talk baseball. He was a Division I athlete, captain of his baseball team before he went blind, played at Columbia, and all the things. And Tom, who's your favorite baseball team?
The New York Mets.
Oh, that's his favorite team. We were actually at some of the playoff games.
Oh, that's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, I mean, I would love to talk to him because my son is on that pathway to hopefully playing Division I baseball in college, and we're in that process right now. And I feel like I run my business, my son as a business right now, trying to get him to college. So it's kind of crazy.
Well, I promise you, when he gets here, because he will be here, Tom, when he gets here, he's in the middle of a medical revenue recovery. He actually is an attorney, doesn't just play one on TV, and sometimes he has some attorney duties to do, but he will be here, and I will make sure that we know that not only does he know that you're a Mets fan, but that your son is on his way to being a Division I baseball player as well, maybe on that path to major leagues is what I'm hearing, if I'm hearing that correctly.
Only a dream.
Only a dream. Well, welcome, Tom. We are here to make dreams come true. That's what we do. And are you ready to have some fun, Tom?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let's do it. Next up, from the Philippines, a decade in outsourcing industry combining expertise in customer service and virtual assistance. CEO and president of a staffing firm collaborates with 3 co-founders, her husband, her sister-in-law, and an American partner, a Christian business leader, devoted mother of 2, also a pastor and a passionate advocate for women in business. Let's welcome to the show, Regine Regency.
Hi.
Did I pronounce your name correctly?
You did.
Oh, winning at life. Thank you, Regine. And Regine, what is your fun fact?
Well, aside from what I mentioned earlier, like I live in your future because I am like 12 hours advanced and it's already Saturday morning, is that I met one new guy this week, like Wednesday this week. We got connected, we've learned each other's business, and he is actually the one who invited me here. And when he said the word connection, relationship building, and the word game, I just said yes. So that's why I'm here. Thank you for, inviting me here, David.
Awesome. Well, Regine, are you ready to get to know some folks and have some fun?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. From Medford, Oregon, former head of global recruiting for Fortune companies, guiding others secure compensation packages exceeding expectations by an average of $20,000. Founder of 2 successful businesses, assisting high growth firms, cutting headhunters' reliance over 50%, best-selling author, influential educator, empowering professionals to confidently navigate pay negotiations and career transitions. Let's welcome to the show, John Gates. impressive background. John, welcome to the Heart of Influence. And what is your fun fact?
Thanks, Bella. I'd say the fun fact for me is that I'm a rugged individualist. I'm cut from the cloth of ancestors who migrated west to the West Coast. I live in Oregon, but my ancestors were some of the early founders and settlers of this territory. So they had to hack their way through forests to get here and risk life and limb. And that's kind of me. I'm a bit of a weirdo. I do things that most people don't do. I'm comfortable with risk. I'm attracted to things that are unique and interesting.
So what's the like weirdest, most risk-taking thing that you've ever done?
Well, it's something I'm about to do. We talked about this a little before you arrived. I am about to sell everything I own in 2025 and live in developing countries for at least 2 or 3 years because I want the life experience of that.
Wow.
And that's something that most people would never even consider, but I'm gonna pare my belongings down to 2 boxes. And that's a hard move for most people.
Now, does this now that's this old like scuba thing behind you, right?
Yep.
Is that correct? Does that get to go or stay?
That's probably going to be sold. It's really a neat piece, though. But to me, it signifies pushing my boundaries and adventure. It reminds me every day that those are the things that motivate me.
Well, John, I am feeling your heart of exploration and adventure, very powerful stories. Are you ready to go on an adventure today on the Heart of Influence?
That is why I am here.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it. Next up from Denver, Colorado, fractional CTO working with small to medium-sized companies, providing tech leadership for those in need and do not want to or can't pay for full time. 35 years in the space, previously serving lead gen, finance, healthcare, generally speaking to companies from 20 million to 100 million in revenue, believing leadership to cause impact on an entire organization, holistically in the most fulfilling positions he can step into. Let's welcome to the show, David Logan.
We'll go with that. I think I'm just a guy, but sure, that sounds great.
Not just a guy. No one's just a guy, David, but welcome to the Heart of Influence. And David, what is your fun fact?
Oh boy, I'm a pretty boring guy, but how about I used to be a tournament chess player. Don't really do that too much anymore.
Ooh.
But I did that for a bunch of years. I'm actually pretty decent as a chess player. Never pro or anything like that, so I never made any money. Now I spend my days playing racquetball. If I'm not doing work, I'm trying to spend my time on the racquetball court, but that's a whole different story.
That is awesome. Are you one of those guys that can go like ding, ding, like hit the clock?
Oh, the speed,
like
yes,
that?
the speed chess. I mean, I have a certain amount of proficiency, but nowhere near as good as some of those guys at the top.
Well, that is, I always think that is impressive when I see people like and hit the thing and hit the thing and hit the thing. So
challenging.
whether you're proficient or intermediate, still impressive, David. And are you ready to have some fun?
Sure, let's give it a shot.
Let's give it a shot. Let's go to the man that brought us all here together today. Your AI coach, serial entrepreneur, former Bell Lab engineer, 3 software patents in the field where he had no previous work experience or education, currently bringing his technical expertise to help your business thrive in an AI-powered future that we are all speeding into. Let's welcome to the show, Mr. Dave Thomas.
Dave Thomas! So, Dave, welcome to Heart of Influence. Chris Crone here to say hello to you, Dave.
He was in the video.
What's up, Dave? How we doing?
Yeah, it's
Hey,
that guy.
Chris. I'm that guy.
That guy. We're talking about things that will affect your life positively, Dave, and many lives that
Yeah.
are here. We're at Chris's Up Life Studios headquarters. We're all having a beautiful day. So thank you, brother. And Chris was on this show in the very, very, very infancy, which I am very grateful for.
Thank you, Sean. Absolutely.
Chris just
See it
did,
here so they can
by the way,
see it.
Chris just did a 2,000 person event not that long ago down in the great state of Florida. It was his event, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Wasn't it the Clever?
It was called the Clever Summit.
Clever Summit.
Yep.
Okay.
And then, Sean, I'm hopefully going to have you out end of January at my event center here in Provo, Utah. We're going to have a 650 person event.
Awesome.
Would love to maybe raise $1 million and maybe take them blinded to another level.
Brother,
Let's
go.
do it.
All right.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll continue in a few.
I just want to give everyone a warning here. Please be very, very, very careful. This formula is so powerful, and Sean will get a yes out of you every single time, and he'll teach you how to get yeses. I got a yes answer on that, dear. She made me work a little bit. Yeah. All right, you guys have fun. Thanks.
Yes. Dave
Thank you,
Thomas,
Chris.
appreciate you so much, brother. And please, your fun fact, Dave.
My fun fact, my wife and I just spent 3 months camping in our camper in the Colorado mountains, running my business over the Starlink, riding our motorcycles, watching the aspen, and getting adopted almost by the biggest, whitest dog you ever saw in your life.
Aw, Dave, that's beautiful, brother. And when you want to talk about brilliance and wisdom, Dave Thomas is one of the deepest thinking, heart-centered, integrous humans you're ever going to meet. Love this man. If there's any challenge, he could just potentially once in a blue moon overthink a thing, but his challenge will never be integrity. Never be integrity. His challenge will never be heart and love for people. And he is a truth-seeking machine that is dedicating his entire being to the space of advancing people in AI. It's a beautiful thing, brother. Thanks for putting this together today. And shall we do the things, Dave?
Let's do it.
The woman seated to my right, as we are on location in some part of Utah that is unknown to me at this moment.
I know either.
Yes, in this beautiful moment, started her career in influence as an 8-year-old selling crafts on her parents' front lawn. By the age of 19, she put 3 words together, Dave, and everybody, that do not go together. 3 words do not go together. Teenager, network marketing, and 7 figures. That's this amazing woman. 24, 25, and 26 years old. She's three-peating like Michael Jordan, but not in hoops, but instead in business brokerage, is Nevada's #1 business broker. She was the youngest person ever to do it at all, man or woman, and the first woman ever to do it in this male-dominated industry. Incredible. She then started training entrepreneurs and Fortune 500 companies. In fact, in 2019, every sales team she worked with doubled their sales. Skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer, not hunter. Yes, nor am I. Not hunters.
Freaky though.
But yeah, kind of freaky. There's a big, giant, freaky. I'm blind, but it's some giant in the corner of my eye. Extreme adventurer though. Bella is for sure. Philanthropist, co-raising $10 million, including millions and millions for Chris Crohn's charity when we flew together to support people in the Ukraine. We were there when bombs went overhead in Kyiv. Chris and I, and Allison, Bella was a part of those beautiful raises and all the things we did, and so supportive. And in 2023, this incredible woman publicly battled and defeated cancer courageously, inspirationally, and very transparently. Well, let's welcome to Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence, the woman that put the heart in it, the one, the only, Bella Verita. That's for you.
That's for me.
Fun fact.
I think I'm going to go with the fun fact is I just sat in a room and I think if I understand everything correctly, that if I do the things and pick up the phone and make calls, there's a possibility of making $9 million of residual income in 3 years. Do I have that math-ish right?
Your math is directly right.
My math is definitely.
That is the
I was actually precise.
Yes, with the most
Yes, I sat in
conservative
that meeting.
lawyer and operational director on our team. That is the conversation we're having. Chris Crohn's UpLife Studios, taking that program to the world in this space of out-of-network medical revenue recovery.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fun fact.
That is
I don't think I've ever sat in a room where some math was being done and there was a possibility of making $9 million of residual income in 3 years.
Yes.
Yes,
that is
that
true.
is a pretty fun fact.
Yes.
So
that is our fun fact for today. Yes, and that is a very fun fact.
Yes,
Where
that
she
is a
got
very
that.
fun fact. And I'm going to introduce the man that was leading that conversation, the man that Tony Robbins said there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. He beats world champions like Becky at body surfing competitions. He's only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016, and the only one that's blind out of 1.2 million attorneys. In fact, the state of New Jersey actually named him one of New Jersey's most influential attorneys. He has spoken on stages for Fortune 10 companies to Fortune 500 companies like Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, of course, Tony Robbins 18 times. And when he's not busy flying around speaking on stages, he's an incredible philanthropist, as you just heard, and has raised nearly $10 million for refugees in the Ukraine. Let's welcome our co-host, Sean Callagy. Before you share your fun fact, I do want to let you know that we have a fellow Mets fan in the house, and with a son that is that he's working on getting to be a Division I athlete, baseball. So I wanted to make sure I shared that with you. So in case you had a fun fact that you wanted to corollary share.
That's called a fun fact prompt.
That is a fun fact.
So first of all, Dave, thank you for this. Thank you, Bellarita. And yes, I will go with this as my fun fact. It'll be one general fun fact to be responsive to what you're sharing, have a couple micro details. So I'm blind, but before I went blind, I actually had an invited tryout with the New York Mets when I was 18 years old in Shea Stadium with 25 players that were there, some of the best college players in the country. I was on my way to play at high school and college players to play at Columbia University. And I was called out of the dugout because I was the fastest player at the tryout. And I stole second and third base on consecutive pitches against a top catching prospect in a live scrimmage when the guy pretty much knew I was stealing. That was like really not very fair, but that's what happened. And I went on to play at Columbia University for 4 years as a Division I player. I was captain of the team my senior year. I was two-time All-Ivy player. I was All-State in New York. And after my freshman year as Ivy League runner-up for Rookie of the Year, I was on pace to break the Columbia hit record. My eye condition called retinitis pigmentosa began to limit my ability to see balls in the outfield. So by the end of my junior year, I was pretty clear I was going to really struggle to get drafted when I was told I was getting drafted, and it was heartbreaking. In addition, 1986, I'm a junior in high school. And I was in box 113A when the ball rolled through Bill Buckner's legs.
Tom is getting excited. He knows exactly what you're talking about.
20 feet from Bill Buckner. And yesterday, to tie this all together, my dad, who I was with, is now 79, was with at that game, box 113A, 20 feet from Bill Buckner when the ball rolled through his legs. And of course, Mookie Wilson, became this legendary person. With the person claiming to be the biggest Mookie Wilson fan in the world, named Darren Prince. And if you want to check us out on social media, Sean Callagy, Darren Prince, we made a $65,000 donation to Darren's charity yesterday called Aiming High, people who have abuse issues. And Darren Prince is great friends with Mookie Wilson. He's also the person that reunited Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. And he is currently Magic Johnson and David Goggins' speaker agent. So we were having conversations yesterday about the future of everything we're going to do together. And that is my fun fact tying in baseball, Mets, possibility, of course, all that becoming available because of Dave Thomas on his Heart of Influence. Those are my fun facts.
Those are your fun facts. And there's so many things I want to tell you about all of these folks that are here, but we got show on the road. Let's go. So how about we kick it off with our Mets fan, Mr. Tom Marino?
So Tom, it's an honor and privilege to make your acquaintance, sir. And what we're doing here, Tom, is we're exploring the ability to cause, to have Magic Johnson be your client, got to cause yes. Darren Prince have David Goggins become his client, had to cause yes. Chris Crone causes yes. We're here causing yes with each other. We're making proposals and how we're going to do some stuff together. Dave Thomas had to cause yes. That people, everything happens after yes. Leadership, management, marketing, selling, recruitment, fundraising for profit, not for profit. This is not a sales conversation. This is a human scale build conversation, which of course includes selling, but includes every other conceivable yes, so we can bring our hearts, our energy forward in the world. So what we're doing here is exploring what that looks like. 8,000 people have been on the show. We've had more than 1,450 episodes. And Bella, to illustrate this, is going to be anyone you'd like her to be. She could be an ideal client. So it could be a sales conversation. She could be somebody you're recruiting. She could, in fact, be a charitable investor or a for-profit investor. She could be somebody famous like Oprah Winfrey or Warren Buffett. Anyone that would make sense. And it's Tom, correct?
It is Tom.
Tom, yeah, remember I'm blind. Tom, anything that would make anyone that makes sense for me to hello to yes with. It doesn't have to be the ultimate yes. We're not talking pitching and closing, but what does it look like when heart-centered, integrous, sophisticated people like a Dave Thomas are communicating with people, or like all you fine folks, to create a yes? So could just Tom be a yes to a longer conversation? So Tom, please, who would you like Bella to be?
I think the best example would be an ideal client for me, which would be a small business owner who is a solopreneur who is working and doing everything that they need to do in their business, generating maybe $300,000 to $500,000 a year. And
This
they're
is
really
easy. This is me. Sean just let me take over his business and he has me do everything myself. He won't let me hire anyone and I got to do it all myself. Hello, this is Bella.
So hi Bella, how are you?
Exhausted, tired, and overwhelmed.
So what is causing that exhaustion?
Well, I just bought a company and I've been taking it over for a few months now, and I'm doing everything. I'm taking out the trash. I am doing marketing, doing sales, just everything.
So what you're doing is what we call the practitioner of your business, right? You're taking on everything because you may not have the resources yet to hire someone. So let me ask you that question to start with. Do you have the opportunity to hire someone to help you do what you do?
I feel like I don't know how to find the time to hire someone, because if I hire someone, then I got to stop doing what I'm doing to train the person, and I can't I don't have the time to stop what I'm doing. So I don't even know how to start with hiring someone.
So Bella, what we do at Atomic Business Coaching is we help you to shift that idea of time and looking at how much attention you're paying to the things that you're doing, because it's not about time, it's about attention. We get this idea that we have to have so much time, put these things in place, and then we wind up spending too much time in the wrong areas. So what I would say to you is it's not really about time management, it's about attention management. So where on a daily basis are you spending the most of your attention, not your time?
The most of my attention is on sales.
It's on sales. Okay, so bringing in new clients, generating revenue, doing lead generation, prospecting, all of that stuff?
Yep.
Okay, and how successful are you at that right now?
I'm pretty damn successful at that.
Fantastic. So what is the area that you would really like to alleviate off of your list of responsibilities?
Anything that's data related, anything that's email checking, spreadsheets, data, reviewing things, anything like that.
Okay, so have you ever used like ChatGPT, or have you used any form of AI to automate any of these processes that you're talking about?
I have not.
Okay. Do you know how to do any of that stuff?
I do not.
Would you
I
like
know
help?
this guy who's like an AI coach. He could probably show me.
Yeah.
But I haven't tried it yet.
So the question is would you like help with that?
Yes, please help me. Can we talk later?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, let's do it. I gotta run right now, but if you can help me do all of this, I'm in. Can we get that guy Sean Callagy to work for me though? I'd like for him to take out my trash.
What's
Can we do that?
here? What's happening here? Tom, excellent work, brother. We're gonna get to the feedbackers in a moment. Beautiful, congruent energy. Who's next?
Next, we got
Simone.
Simone is not looking to play professional baseball, though. I will tell you that.
Simone, are you sure?
Not yet. Maybe in a future life.
She has lived in 30 countries, though. Worked and lived in 30 countries.
Simone, incredible. If you go to any country tomorrow, what country would you go to? And like, time
I
stops, world freezes. What country?
Well, tomorrow, Iceland. Tomorrow, no.
The Northern Lights. Let's go get it.
Let's go.
Simone, who's Bella going to be?
I would love to do the ideal client as well.
Beautiful. And same type of demographic, small business owner or something different?
Small business owner, but you're past 7 figures.
Okay.
You have a small team. You don't have as much financial clarity as you want. But
Okay.
you don't really know that you need somebody at a higher level to help you with your finances.
Okay.
Let's go get it.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hey, Bella, how are you?
I'm really good, but I'm freaked out by that thing. I'm doing really good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I'm so excited to hear a little bit more about your business.
Oh, thank you. What would you like to know? What's most important for you to know?
Well, right now, like, how's it been going? Like, what have been your goals?
It's been going really good. You know, we've consecutively grown over the years and you know, revenues have been, you know, pretty good. You know, but we're definitely in 2025. You know, we are really looking to, because things kind of like, you know, during COVID, I have a wine business, and so during COVID, you know, sales went up quite a bit, but then, you know, once COVID was over, it's called Mom Juice. And once COVID was over, it kind of, you know, flattened out. And so, you know, we're looking to see how we can, you know, grow and do some other things.
Well, and there's so much, right? So when you think about growing your business, it's understanding the sales, especially with wine. You've got production, you've got inventory management, you've got so much of just dealing with all of not only the customers, but your supply chain. Have you been taking a look at your numbers just to see what seasonality is happening? And have you been able to look at just seasonality and just the numbers and the trends about what's
I do
happening?
my best, but sometimes
Yeah.
it kind of slips my mind. Sometimes, you know, I had a little too much juice and I can't get to the
Oh,
number.
I'm a big fan of Verde, Rosa, and not the rosé, but in Portugal we have Vinho Verde. Do you have that at your business?
I don't. That sounds amazing.
Yes, it would be interesting to talk a little bit about that because, you know, what you're experiencing, so many business owners experience. And if I told you that there's a way that actually the way that you're managing your money could support you in growing your sales, but also could support you in building more wealth and giving you more time back. Would you be interested in having a virtual chat over a glass of Verde Vino?
Ah, yes, I would love to have a virtual chat over some Verde Vino. That's a for sure. Let's do it. Send some up
Okay.
to Portugal and we'll schedule a meeting.
All right.
Maybe I'll let you sit in on my meeting with some Verde Vino.
Yes, Simone, wonderful, wonderful job. And I would be very honored. Thank you.
How about you?
Yes. So excellent job, Simone. Excellent job, of course, Tom. Feedbackers.
Now we get to the feedbackers, otherwise known as judges. Just as the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. And so it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for either Tom or Simone, something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then like a little next step. Is that next step you'd rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer meeting with Tom or Simone? Oh, I don't think anybody's going to need a root canal today. We'll send you some juice instead. But maybe the next step might be a little cup of Joe or maybe a cup of vino for a little bit longer of a conversation. If that's not enough time, you would rent a private room at the Capitol Grill, getting like the seafood tower and the nice juicy steak, and of course dessert, because you do want to have the longest meeting possible. Tom's like, "Yep, I'm in for that." But if that's not enough time, you would rent a private jet. Of course, stop and pick up Mr. Dave Thomas because he did invite you here, and fly anywhere in the world, maybe Portugal, maybe Iceland, for the longest meeting possible. And so how about we kick this off with David, who is a tournament chess player, by the way.
Whoa.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things going on here that were exciting. So David, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Tom?
Just a quick aside before I do that, I actually met a founder of the Blind Institute of Technology here in Denver like 15 years ago.
Wow.
So I kind of, you know, I'm not a big networker, so I kind of fell out of touch with him. I need to dust it off, but I don't know if that'd be something you'd be interested in, at least, you know, reaching out and saying hello, you know, considering
thank you,
there's a
David.
bit of a connection there. At any rate, you know, feedback. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you kind of caught me off guard here, mostly because I'm not a sales guy or an expert. That's probably part of why I'm here.
Yeah, but David, you know, David, just like, what did you how did the conversation resonate for you? Like, what did you feel pulled by? Maybe something to be optimized, because that's the whole thing is that,
Yeah.
and I've done jury verdict consulting. I've spoken on stage all over the world. And what I always tell people is human reaction is human reaction. You don't have to be an expert, but
Yeah.
just how you
Okay.
feel.
That's fair. Okay. And so I don't know. I guess from what I saw, it seemed a little disjointed. There's a little bit of stepping on other people, and it seemed a little bit salesy to me as opposed to kind of connecting. I don't know. It seemed to
But
me
what did you like?
like
What did you
he,
like? So it could be a little more connecting, a little less salesy.
yeah,
What did
yeah.
you appreciate most about what Tom did? Like, what's something positive?
Well, I mean, there was really no question about where he was going, kind of what he was asking for and what he was trying to do for you. So I think there's that. If you spend too much time connecting, then you don't, you end up getting off the phone, not really sure why you were there to begin with.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. Appreciate that. For sure, Dave. Yeah.
Thank you for that, David. And how about John? John, how about your 30 seconds of feedback, which John, by the way, has a very old vintage scuba mask in his background. I know. Sean is also a scuba diver, blind scuba diver. So John, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Simone? Just unmute for us, John.
He might be scuba diving.
He might be scuba diving.
Of course, there it is. It's actually one of those diving bell helmets.
That's amazing.
Diving
Sean,
bell.
it's one of those
Are you a
old
diver?
brass ones.
Are you a scuba diver?
No,
No,
I'm
okay.
not a diver, but would love to learn scuba. I think that's something that I want to do.
Let's go get it. Just a big recommendation: do not use a diving bell helmet anytime soon. Could get a little complicated in the pool, but we could talk about it. So, yeah, please,
Yes.
30 seconds of feedback.
Absolutely. So I thought Simone did a good job of establishing rapport, finding some sort of mutual interest. I like the way she came across. I thought it was genuine and fine. Like I don't have any criticisms actually. I
Awesome.
imagine that she gets good results with that pitch. At least it would work on me.
Yeah, for sure. Excellent job, John. And so maybe you'd even try scuba diving with Simone because you're so deeply moved. Is that fair?
Well, she wanted to do it. Absolutely.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Vino or scuba? We got this, Bella.
We got this. Let's go. Regine, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Tom?
Uh-oh, it's something that should I really say? I mean, I am new to being a salesperson, and definitely Tom did a great job in, pitching his services and everything. And by the way, Tom, we have the same ICA, ideal
okay.
customers. So
Excellent.
same thing. So I'm listening to both of you. So I'm just saying this for both Simone and Tom, really, is that I'd love to connect. And then it's just that you're doing better than I am. So I'd love to learn more. And I'm just blessed to be here. And one thing that I'd really love to develop in, talking to clients is to listen. And both of you did a great job in doing that, Tom. But it's not mostly a feedback for both of you. It's a feedback for myself. Like, hey, I should do that. Hey, I should do this. And the rapport thing that Simone did, I definitely would love to be that. But it's more about really authentic building relationship. That's one thing that I'd love to really develop by myself. So
Thank you so
yeah, I'm
much
just here to
for
learn,
that,
and thank you.
Regine, beautiful heart, fully present. Thank you for the great feedback.
Absolutely. And last but not least, let's go, Dave Thomas, your 30 seconds.
DT.
Your 30 seconds of feedback for Simone.
Well, Simone, I just felt that, I mean, I just really loved what you did. Your confidence was extraordinarily apparent. Like it was just very clear that you had done this for years, that you knew what you're doing, and also just that you genuinely care about the person. I really felt that was really transmitted, and so I just thought it was awesome.
Awesome. Well, Dave Thomas, thank you for that. And sir, what time it is? Even worse than that dude on the wall got. I'm gonna get something that bad right now.
Yes, that is true. Dave Thomas and everyone, this is the time in the show that I get to put my co-host on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about, because I have been cooking them up as the show's been going on. You might have been looking, that's weird.
You and
That's weird. That's weird. And so I think I'm just gonna make the scenarios even harder now since for that. But yes, I get to put Sean on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about. I've been making them up over here on the side since the show started. And Dave, as you know, you can choose any one of my scenarios. You can change anything about the scenarios, or you can scrap them all together and come up with something much harder on your own. Are you ready to hear what I have for today?
Yeah, let's see what you got, Bella.
All right, so option number one is we are going to pretend that Tom's son is of age to play for the Mets. And so option number one is Sean would have to go from hello to yes with Carlos Mendoza to get his son a tryout for the Mets season next year. So that is option number one, Dave Thomas. Option number two is there's a famous scuba diver known as Sylvia Earle, who's known as Her Deepness, and she has more than 1,000 expeditions and logged over more than 7,000 hours of scuba diving. So option number two is Sean would role play John, going from hello to yes with Sylvia to buy the scuba thing. What's it called?
Diving bell?
The diving bell for at least $25,000 donation to charity. So that is option number two. And option number three is Mom Juice is actually someone I know. It actually is a company. And so Sean would role play Simone, going from hello to yes with the CEO of Mom Juice, who is also a nominee for a Black woman in business. To go from hello to yes with her, to look at her financials and help her grow financially. So Dave, those are the three options I have for you today. Any of those tickle your fancy, or do you have something much harder you would like to see Sean do?
Well, I'm going to really surprise you, Bella, which is that I'm going to go with one of yours. So yeah, look at the expression on her face there. I always come up with something ridiculous, but
you do sometimes, yes.
Yeah, like the time Sean had to convince the Pope to drink a glass of a margarita, that was
That's right. That was you. I forgot.
That is very true.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah. So, but today, I mean, my goodness, all three of those things sound quite amazing. Let's do Tom, and let's do that one, number one.
Number one. All right. And so who do you want to play Carlos Mendoza?
Let's let David play Carlos Mendoza.
David, are you up for playing the Mets general manager, Carlos Mendoza? And Tom, what's your son's name?
Andrew.
Andrew. So you're going to play Tom, getting your son Andrew a tryout for the Mets.
All right. And who is playing Carlos Mendoza?
David.
David. So David, you up for this?
I can give it a shot. I'm really not sure how to do that, but why not?
Yes. Well, we are learning the improvisational skill sets of human influence at the highest level. So, hi, is Mr. Mendoza available?
So I'm playing the father. Is that what I'm?
No, you're actually playing the Mets general manager. So
the general manager.
You have the easy job. You could beat me up and be difficult, and I have to generate a yes from you.
Oh, I see. Oh, I understand. All right, I'm sorry. I now understand. So I'm the one that you're calling for.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
So
okay.
hi.
So yeah.
Hi, is Mr. Mendoza?
Got it. Yes. This is him. What can I do for you?
Yeah, hi. This is Sean Callaghan, and we had a 3-minute conversation scheduled for today. Is it still a good time for you?
For a short time, absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, listen, thank you so much. I know that you know who you are. I just want you to know, I of course understand who you are and how busy you are, how many people are coming at you. What an incredible season you had. I know it would have been great to go all the way, but to get to the NLCS, force a game 6 against the Dodgers, who are just such a dominant team this year. It's a credit to you, the credit to the team you put together, and I really appreciate the time, and I will keep it to the 3 minutes with 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go. So thank you again, Mr. Mendoza. But if I can ask, what prompted you in the first place to even accept this conversation? I'm sure everyone wants a tryout, a thing, a what, but Mr. Mendoza, what prompted you to say yes to me? And again, thank you for it.
Well, to be honest, everybody, obviously, as you pointed out, does try to give me a call for one reason or another, and somehow you've made it through my secretary. So, this is your time. What can I do for you?
Yeah, that's awesome. So really the only reason that was made through? Was your secretary put on the calendar? Did she share anything this was about, or this magically appeared?
Okay, well, I'm just gonna say I've got some notes here. I'm not sure what the notes say, but I'm gonna say I've got some notes here.
Cool. Okay. So, as you may or may not recall then from your secretary, this is about a baseball player named Andrew. And he's got an incredibly bright future. I was a Division I college player myself. As you may or may not know, a lot of beautiful, beautiful things, you know, are existing in my background. But my question is, when you're looking for an opportunity to provide a player, as the Mets, I think, because I've heard you speak, I read your book, I watch your videos, what I'm understanding is, of course, you're looking for the best baseball talent. But in addition to building the best team, you're also, Mr. Mendoza, correct me if I'm wrong, you're also looking to create ways that the Mets brand continues to rise in parallel to, catch up to, respectfully, humbly, the Yankees, and be a standard of Major League Baseball and professional sports. So everything and anything that would integrally advance that outcome are things that you and the Mets are interested in. At least this is what I read. Am I hearing that correctly? Anything I'm missing?
I think that's fair. Obviously, a good baseball player is kind of the baseline, but as a baseline, that tends to be, you know, the minimum requirement, right? You know, the fact is that it's the person in and of itself, and the culture and the beliefs, and, you know, the ability to fit into the team. And quite frankly, the ability to fit into, you know, some of my analysts and how they feel that the baseball player is going to fare, you know, within the organization, right? Not, it really is their, you know, their skill is almost secondary, as it were.
Awesome. So from that place, Mr. Mendoza, and I'm also present to Grimace and his relationship with the Mets and McDonald's. And a thing happened, you know, Grimace came out and threw out a pitch, and there's a Grimace seat, and people are looking back at the Grimace moment, and there's all of this identity and energy with the Mets around Grimace, Mr. Met, Miss Met. Identity, heart, and relationship has been thriving for the Mets as they made this run this season. And the reason I raise all this is the proposal isn't simply to have Andrew have a neutral tryout. He's young, he's up and coming. What the proposal actually is to have that event, and we would source somebody incredible, a legend, like let's go with a David Goggins, because there could be a parallel between his energy, his resilience as a Navy SEAL, like super famous speaker. He's actually getting speaking fees equivalent to Magic Johnson's at this point in the world. And we would raise $5 million that day for charity and attach all of this to the identity of the Mets, giving an unknown like Andrew a tryout. And we would guarantee $500,000 for charity by doing it. It would all be in the Mets name. And all I am seeking at this point is a further conversation for 30 minutes, not a yes, to design a Rocky I meets Apollo. No name person gets the opportunity of a lifetime with resilience, energy, Mets. Like, here we go, because the Mets are always the underdog. Andrew's an underdog. David Goggins was an underdog, and have this energy and philanthropy. So all we're looking for, Mr. Mendoza, is a 30-minute follow-up conversation to go through a PowerPoint of how we are incredibly confident that we'd raise $5 million for charity by the Mets. The Mets raise $100,000, and you guys, you know, beautifully, you know, press release and get excited about it. This could be really disruptive, positive, heart-centered, and impactful. So with that said, Mr. Mendoza, and again, thank you so much for your time. How would it resonate with you or not to have a 30-minute follow-up conversation?
I think with the way I would answer that is, you know, a conversation sounds awesome. I do have to say I'm a little bit curious exactly what is in it for you, because it sounds awfully one-sided, right? It sounds like you're offering me a lot, not getting a lot in return. And there's something unusual about that.
I get my name. I get my name in the press release.
Okay.
I created it. I caused it. Unblind is in the press release, as we are the producer of this beautiful moment for everyone. That's all I want and need. That's the entire thing, because that amplifies my identity. And this is what I do all the time, is I put people together, make magic happen, kind of like this guy Dave Thomas did in his show today. And then my identity is amplified and I build new relationships. And as we go forward, there might be more things that the Mets are excited to do that we can all co-create together. That's all that's in it for me, not a dime. Just a future possibility of my identity rising. That's it, by being allowed to co-create this. So how would that resonate for that 30-minute call?
Seems fine to me. I mean, at the moment, it sounds like I've got everything to gain and nothing to lose. So I don't see why I wouldn't.
Yeah, that's the idea. And that's how I build relationships. That's called integrity. And thank you, Mr. Mendoza. So shall I set that up with your assistant, Jimmy, that set up this call today?
Absolutely. Anytime.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Mr. Mendoza. It's been an honor. And I look forward to it. And again, congratulations on an incredible season of resiliency by the New York Mets. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
That was
Out of roll.
difficult.
Thank you. So, Dave, how did I do having that conversation to set up Andrew's tryout?
I mean, obviously, from the content perspective, I think you did great. As everybody has told me since the day I started work, I used way too few words. And so from that perspective, I think you used way too many. But otherwise, I think you did great.
So, but we did cause the yes, like irresistibly so.
Yeah, I think there's no question. I mean, I like I said, I was starting to wonder what exactly was in it for you because it sounded like, hey, I've got all kinds of things that'll, make your life better. I'm like, well, that's great, but now I'm worried, about what's the catch? And so,
I'll always,
yeah, sure.
what I would propose to everyone, may your greatest challenge be in every yes you create that the other person is confused of how you could possibly be so generous. May that be your outcome every time, because it is assuredly mine. And that's exactly what's going on in that room right now. And that's why I have the great humble honor of causing yes at one of the top levels in the world. And I always say this, Dave and everyone, that the greatest salesperson in the world sells nothing. They just collect irresistible yeses. So, and Dave, thank you for being on Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence today. And overall, Dave, how was your experience?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's definitely interesting. As I think I've mentioned several times now, learning how to do all of this is something that's been on my mind considering the venture that I'm on. So yeah, it's been awesome.
Amen. Thank you so much for that.
And John said he had to jump, so I don't know if you want to go to him next.
John, real quick, I know you have to run. Final. How was thank you for being here today, John. Thank you for your feedback. And how was your time today on Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence?
Good. It was fun. I learned a couple of things. I really like what you just said, that people, the best salespeople collect irresistible yeses. That's something I've been thinking a lot about lately, making my offers irresistible. So that's pretty cool. Thanks for including me. I appreciate it.
Thanks, John. And the final, we created 451 sales meetings for Allison Armstrong on a webinar we just did a couple weeks ago, one of the top relationship coaches in the world. And that was done by creating irresistible yes for people, giving value and having an opportunity for more. And 451 people on a webinar with 950 people on it opted in for the sales meeting. So it's all out there. It's about exponential growth of sales meetings with integrity. John, thank you for being here today. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it, John. Thanks.
Yeah. Simone, thank you for being here. Really appreciated your approach of going from whole yes. So Bella, just your energy. There was a softness, a heart. It's really masterfully done. Even the way you talked about and pronounced the wine, the Vino Verde, the way you said it, like it was just really elegant, and it was very masterful. So great job. And how was your time today, Simone, on Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence?
Thank you. It was lovely. It's just so fun to collaborate, experience this, not know exactly what's going to happen, be a little on the hot seat. The show is beautiful, and just being in everyone's presence. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Simone. And isn't that business though, Simone, in life, right? Like we're not quite sure what's going to happen, what's going to go on. And then all of a sudden, as long as we're making progress moving forward, micro yeses, beautiful things, really wonderful, wonderful job.
Let's go with the son who's going to play for the Mets. Tom, great job today kicking us off on the Heart of Influence. And how was your time with us today?
It was wonderful. Dave, I want to thank you for inviting me to be part of this. It was great to meet you guys, every single one of you. I really enjoyed your energy. Bella, I love your energy. It's out of this world, and I really appreciate that kind of energy and the opportunity just to experience something very different. This was a wonderful experience. In my business, I don't do all the sales. My partner does all the sales, and it was great to do a little demo and how I do things. But I really enjoyed it. And Sean, it's a real honor to meet you. What you've done is remarkable, and it was really a great experience. So thank you.
Tom, thank you. And how old is Andrew, Tom?
Andrew is 15. He's a sophomore in high school, an honor student in high school. Columbia is actually following his profile on NCSA. He's a catcher, and we're looking and working towards doing all the showcases and camps this winter so that we could start to get him out there.
The Brett Beretti is a friend. He lives in the same town. He and I have had multiple meals together, and he has done this is a Columbia baseball coach, such an unbelievable job in building that program. So I wish Andrew all of the best, and anything I could ever do, I'm here. So thanks, brother.
Fantastic. Thank you.
And I think that takes us to Regine. Great job in the feedbackers seat, doing extraordinary things there in the Philippines. Thank you for being here. And how was your time on Dave Thomas's Heart of Influence?
This is awesome. That's one word. And to be honest, I'm new salesperson because of the negative connotation, of being a salesperson. But I only took really this opportunity to be a salesperson just this year, like January this year. I met a coach in sales, and I learned that being a salesperson is really giving or solving and really, giving value to the clients that we work with. And something that's really missing, which is I learned from both of you today or from everybody today, is really connecting and really knowing the pain points of the clients that you work with. And just what I love about what you did, Sean, is just really being, giving everything with integrity and collecting yeses. So that's one thing that I learned. Thank you so much for the show.
Eugene, thank you. There's no greater power in the world, as Bella would always say, than the ability to cause yes with people. Because people are default no, because we're scared. And the opportunity in any version of integriously creating yes is the key. We say integrity a lot. Definition has 3 parts. 1, being transparent. 2, adding more value than you seek to receive. And 3, that the thing that you say can do something, can actually do it. Following that definition of integrity, being in sales is the greatest position you could possibly be in the world. And yes, Regine, here's to you collecting yeses integriously from here. And I love the energy. Great job. Dave Thomas, yes?
It is.
Mr. Dave Thomas, great job, brother. This is a man you want to talk to. He's the man that made this happen today. Sir Dave, your final.
I'm just so grateful to all of you for coming. I'm deeply grateful to you, Sean and Bella, for, all that it took to make this happen. There's a lot more going on here to make one of these shows than meets the eye. And, Sean and Bella worked extremely harder than almost any people I know on earth, to bring this mission forward to people, which has changed my life. And so I'm just grateful for the honor of bringing this to each of you.
Love and appreciate you, brother. And I just want everybody to know, we're at a huge meeting today with Chris, and we really are having a conversation that's about hundreds of millions of dollars, and things that we're building. But there's no way that we were not coming here on the show today for Dave, with you. We are grateful. Definitely have a conversation with Dave and follow up. And for anybody that's interested in, anything we talked about here today, we have a gift of our group influence book. Chris jokingly, shared the things. We're out here, and Chris has millions and millions of social media followers, tens and tens of millions of views every month. And I've co-created insane breakthroughs for Chris on philanthropic stages and fundraising. And, we really do know what we're doing. So that group influence book is there for you. There's also the opportunity to have a business acceleration session. That's not what's happening in that room right now. Right. And so take us up on it. We have great respect, for anybody in the coaching and human acceleration space, but there's a big difference between a baseball player, as Tom could attest to, that could throw 75 miles an hour, 90 and 125. We throw 150, which, by the way, no baseball player throws 150, but we do with this. So that acceleration session is there for you. Final.
I echo everything that, you just said. And, it's extraordinary to sit in that room. It's extraordinary here. Thank you, Dave, for all the things that you said. And definitely check out those links in the chat. And back to you.
Yeah. Dave Thomas, appreciate and love you, brother. Everybody, thank you so much for being here on this Fun Friday. And I'll say this, without a vision, our people will perish. I think we've heard that. But without a masterful how-to that is masterfully executed, that vision dies anyway, and the people perish anyway. So vision, masterful how-to, masterful execution equals not only survival, but massively abundant thriving. May that be your way from here. And as to how that happens, it's so often right here in front of us. But at some level, Bella, we're all blind.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Great job.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Dave.